The Switch 2 is an amazing console, but let's be real, playing it in handheld mode for more than an hour or two is pure pain for your hands. Nintendo gave us these flat Joy-Cons that make a lot of people's pinkies go numb, and those rubber pads on the bottom, they literally dig into my fingers the entire time. Accessory makers noticed this and rolled out a ton of replacements. Today we're looking at the Abxylute N6, which goes for $60 and you can grab it on their official website using the link in the description box. Now, when I first pulled this thing out of the box, I thought it looked more like a prototype. But after spending almost a month with it, I've completely changed my mind. Today I'm going to answer the toughest questions from the community, the ones other reviewers somehow chose to ignore. Let's address the elephant in the room right away. Why does this thing look like it's too small for the Switch 2? The screen just sticks out of the top, completely destroying any sense of visual symmetry. My inner perfectionist was screaming at first and just couldn't accept it, but the manufacturers did this on purpose. The Switch 2 is heavier and bigger than the original model. If they had made the controller match the full height of the screen, you'd have to stretch your fingers all the way up to the top triggers, straining your wrists even more. Although you could definitely argue against this concept, since the bottom part is pretty bulky. They probably could have shrunk that down and made the controller sit flush with the screen. Instead, the manufacturer went this route. They scaled down the body to fit the natural grip of your fingers. When you hold it while lying in bed or sitting on the couch, it honestly feels like a solid Pro controller. The ergonomic cutouts on the back are super comfortable in my opinion, but this setup adds some serious weight to the console. The controller itself weighs 250 grams, bringing the total weight to the console to 666 grams. Talk about an ominous number. That's 100 grams heavier than playing with the stock Joy-Cons. It feels a lot like holding an Asus ROG Ally, just a bit thicker. Very similar vibe, though the Ally is still noticeably lighter than this setup. If you turn the console upside down and shake it, the Switch does not fall out. It holds in place incredibly well inside the controller, slides into the rails tightly, and connects directly via the Type-C port at the bottom. And before we continue, please take a moment to like this video, subscribe to the channel and leave a comment. Also, don't forget to click the bell icon so you won't miss any new videos. And if you want to support the channel even more, you can hit the hype button. It helps push the video to new audiences and brings even more people into our community. We've got full-sized Hall effect sticks here, no drift in the future, zero dead zones. They feel a bit tighter than the original Joy-Cons. The D-pad is a solid, single piece, a little on the soft side, but you won't get any accidental up and down inputs when pressing left or right. The face buttons use standard membrane switches. But now let's talk about the main killer feature that makes this thing worth the $60. The devs at Abxylute managed to do something incredible. Since the console recognizes this grip as an official Pro controller, the N6 natively supports the system's GL and GR buttons. You literally just hold down the home button right in the middle of the game, jump into the Nintendo system menu, and assign any action you want to the back pedals. And these profiles are saved per game and per account. That is awesome, and major props to the developers for pulling it off. Now let's take off the rose-colored glasses and talk about the downsides that pop up during real-world use. First off, forget about your stock dock. The controller occupies the bottom Type-C port, so to slide your Switch into the dock, you have to take the tablet out of the grip every single time. And honestly, it's kind of annoying, because it takes some effort to pull out, and you have to grip the screen itself to slide the console free. Secondly, there is no built-in battery. It draws power directly from the Switch, yet it still manages to add an extra 250 grams of weight, which definitely makes the console feel a lot heavier in my book. On top of that, you can't wake the console up using the home button on the controller. You have to reach up and hit the power button on top of the Switch itself. Third, they claim it has dual linear motors for high-definition feedback. But let's cut through the marketing fluff. This is not a proper HD rumble. You won't get those subtle, nuanced effects like you do on the native Joy-Cons. My advice? Press the M button right away and drop the intensity down to 40% to stop that loud buzzing. Once you do that, it actually becomes comfortable to play, and the vibration stops being annoying. And finally, my main and absolute biggest complaint. Guys at Abxylute, why on earth didn't you include a built-in kickstand? Because of the controller's shape, the switch to its native kickstand is completely blocked. I am the type of person who frequently rests the console's kickstand on my leg while playing in handheld just to take off some weight and keep from bending my neck. You can't do that anymore. The console just slides down onto your lap. To me, that's a massive missed opportunity. If you look at the market right now, similar alternatives cost around $60, while cheap third-party Joy-Cons will most likely start rattling and flexing in your hands over time. Compared to those, the N6 at $60 looks like the ultimate compromise. Sure, they cheaped out on the kickstand, but they gave you Hall effect sticks and native Pro Controller button support, which usually costs way more. Of course, you could always just buy an ergonomic grip case for your original Joy-Cons, but that's a matter of personal taste. Bottom line, if you play strictly in handheld mode, hate the stock Joy-Cons because their shape makes your hands and fingers cramp up, and you want an ideal grip for a reasonable price, the Abxylute N6 is, if not a must-buy, definitely a smart, rational solution. That is, as long as you don't care about the look, the extra weight, or the protruding screen, and your desperate need for hand comfort outweighs all those cons. Let me know in the comments, what do you think of this controller design? Would you pick one up for yourself? Drop a like, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.